Welcome to Gyan Gurukul e-classes. Today, with the help of Edgeworth box diagram, we shall learn about how in an economy consumers can move from an inferior position to a far better position, right? So in this diagram, we are talking about basically two consumers, right? What are the two consumers? One consumer is consumer A, okay, and the other consumer is consumer B, right? And for the sake of simplicity, we are taking only two goods in the commodity. One good is X, the other good is Y. So basically we are making a very simple economy where there are only two consumers, right? And there are only two commodities. What are the two consumers? The consumers are A and B, and the products are X and Y, right? Okay. Now, therefore, both the consumers A and B consume certain amount of commodity X and consume certain amount of commodity Y, right? Now, from the point of view of from the point of view of consumer A, we are showing the consumption of X through this axis, right? Through this axis, and in this axis we are showing the consumption of Y for consumer A. Clear? This is the origin point of consumer A. Now, from the opposite point of view, from the point of view of consumer B, the consumption of X has been shown through this way, okay? From this represents 0, and when we move downwards from the point of view of B, the consumption of X is increasing, right? Similarly, sorry, not X, in this axis we are showing Y, okay? From here we are showing Y, and when consumer B moves this way, right, in this way, here we are showing the consumption of commodity Y by consumer B. Clear? Okay. Now, as we have discussed about the two commodities, right? Now those two commodities could be, so with the help of indifference curve analysis, right? So we have drawn a family of indifference curve for both the two consumers, consumer A and consumer B. The indifference curves representing consumer A are denoted by A, right? Like A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. These are the indifference curves of consumer A, right? What are these curves showing? These curves are showing various combinations of commodity X and commodity Y that would bring consumer a certain particular level of utility. And uh, following the the characteristics of indifference curve, what higher indifference curve represents higher level of utility. Therefore, A2 is representing higher level of utility than A1, A3 is representing higher level of utility than A2. Similarly, A6 is representing higher level of utility than these curves, that is A5, A4, A2, A1, A3, right? Now on the opposite point of view, from the point of view of B, okay, for B we have told you that the consumption of X has been shown by here in this way, right? And in this axis the consumption of Y has been derived, okay. Now, so for from B's point of view, the indifference curves are, you know this way, okay, in this way, in from right to left, okay. The indifference curves for consumer B is shown from right to left, that is in the right side, more towards the right side, it is denoting less, lower indifference curve, and as we move from right to left in this way, the indifference curves are higher and higher for consumer B. I mean, you see the utility level or the satisfaction level, okay, denoted by this indifference curve for consumer B, that is B2, is higher than B1, right? Similarly, the utility level derived by or the shown by B3 is higher than B2, right? Similarly, B6 is representing more and more utility. See the difference. You have to notice the difference. For consumer A, the higher and higher indifference curves are towards this way, okay, towards the right, okay, and towards the left, the indifference curve for consumer A are lower and lower, right? I mean, the difference between, you see, the utility level denoted by A1 is very less as compared to utility level denoted by A6, right? So for in case of consumer A, in this way the indifference curves are rising, right? but from the point of view of B it is different. Okay, from the point of view of B, you see the utility level there, shown by this indifference curve, that is B1, is very less as compared to the utility level denoted by B6, right? So the utility is rising in this way, or the indifference curve for consumer B are rising in this way from right to left. Clear? Now suppose initially both the two consumers are at point this point, okay, at this point, right? So you denote this point as point F, right, at point F. Now you see how much both the two consumers are consuming. At this point, how much consumer A is consuming, it is denoted by this curve, okay, at this point with this curve, right? If we draw a straight line from here, okay, say at this point, right, at this point we denote this as x1, okay, x1. And similarly, how much consumer A is consuming the commodity Y? Commodity Y is, say, this much of commodity Y, right? Let us denote this as Y1. Okay, so at point F, consumer A is consuming X1 commodity of X and Y1 commodity of Y. Clear? Then how much is left for Y? The amount left for Y is, sorry, not Y, the amount left for consumer B is this much of Y. Okay, this much of Y or this much of Y, right? And how much left the for consumer B, the commodity of X? It is this much. Okay, it is this much. So let us denote this point as x2. Okay, x2. Therefore x2 OB, or this difference x1 x, okay, this difference or this difference, it is going to consumer B, right? From the amount of X, this much or this much, the difference is same. X1 X and X2 OB, the difference is same. You can see both the two curves are parallel and the difference is same, right? You can either say X1 X or you can say X2 OB. This much is going to consumer B, right? And how much of commodity X is going to consumer A? This much. Okay, O A X1, or you can say Y X2, right? This much is going to consumer A. Clear? Now how much of how much of commodity Y is going to A? Y1 OA, this much of amount of commodity Y is going to consumer A, and Y1, right, this much, okay, this much is going to consumer B. Clear? Okay, now at this point, okay, at point F, the utility, how much utility A is deriving? A is deriving A3 amount of utility, because A3 is denoting the A3 is denoting this indifference curve, and this point is on this indifference curve, right? A3, or the consumer A is in A3 indifference curve. Clear? And where B stands at this point? Consumer B stands at B3. Okay, consumer B stands at B3, right? Consumer B stands at B3, right? So can we do something which will, keep one of the consumers at the prevailing utility, but certainly move the other consumer at a higher level of utility, right? Suppose something we do that would, increase the utility for consumer A, at the same time it doesn't decrease the utility of consumer B. Okay, if something that can happen, that make the utility of B constant but increase the utility level of X, right? Sorry, not X, okay, A. Clear? I am saying that if we could do something that would increase the utility level of consumer A, but at the same time the utility of B remains constant, that would be nice for the society as a whole, right? Obviously, if there are two individuals, at least one is getting better off. No, one may remain constant. Okay, one may remain constant. His position may remain constant. But if one is getting better off, there is nothing harm in it. Okay, there is nothing wrong in it. Clear? That would be better for the society as a whole. You can say it on the other way, that suppose the utility level of B increases, but utility of A remain constant. Okay, that would also be better for the society, because at least one is getting better off. No doubt the other is remaining constant, but if one is getting better off, that is good for the society. Think in a simple way, right? Suppose you and your brother, okay, both of you are working in a company, clear? Both of you earn rupees 10 per month, right? Now suppose for some instance, uh, the company your brother works at start giving him 5%, so not 5%, say 5 rupee more, right? Now his salary become 15 rupees. So you are earning 10 rupees, but your brother is earning 15 rupees. That is good for your family, right? That is now, as a whole, your family is earning 25 rupees. Previously your family was earning 20 rupees, both 10 rupees each. But now, because the salary of your brother has increased, that means your family is at a good state, right? It is overall the 5 rupees in your family increase. So in that way, if you see from the point of view of the economy, if there are two individuals, at least the um, at least the income, or the at least the consumption or utility of one person increases, at the same time the other person's utility doesn't decrease but remain constant, then that is good for the society as a whole, right? So let's see, can we do that? Okay, can we do that? Okay, now see, from this point, if we move to this point, okay, say denote this point as point Z. Okay, at point Z, see, B is at the utility level B3. Okay, B is at the utility level B3, but the utility level of consumer A has increased from A3 to A4, and we know that A4 denotes a higher utility level than A3, right? A4 denotes a higher utility level than A3. Therefore, if the consumers, both the two consumers, move from point F to point Z, okay, they move from point F to point Z, that means the utility of A increases. At the same time, the utility of B remain constant, because you see, take a point F or point Z, both are in the same indifference curve, and same indifference curve denotes the same utility, right? Therefore, moving from this point to this point, they can, both the two consumers can be better off. Okay, the society as a whole could be at a better position, right? The welfare of the society could increase, clear? So in this way, through exchange, through a mutual exchange of commodities, both can be at a new position, right? Or at a advantageous position. Say for example, take this point, okay, let denote this point at H, right? Now, if the consumer, rather than moving from F to Z, they move from F to H, then what could happen? Then see, the utility level of consumer A is at constant A3, right? But the utility of B have increased from B3 to B4, right? And B4 is greater than B3. Okay, that means the utility of consumer B is now high. It is higher than the previous utility, though at the same time the utility of A remains constant. Okay, therefore now even at H, both the two consumers are at a more advantageous position, are at a more better position from the society's point of view, right? Now, all the points where both the two curves, okay, all the points where the indifference curves of A and B are tangent to each other, okay, they are tangent to each other, all those points, okay, let's take this point, this one, and all other, or any other point where both the two curves, that the indifference curves of consumer A and B are tangent. Okay, remember, tangent means both touches each other, not intersect. This is the intersection, right? This is intersection. We are not talking about intersection, we are talking about where the both curves are tangent to each other. Okay, so in this whole scenario, any point where both the two curves are intersect, sorry, not intersect, both the two curves are tangent to each other, they are the, better points or advantageous points. And moving from the point of intersections, if the two consumers come to a point of tangency by through mutual exchange of commodities, then that would be better from the society's point of view. Okay, that would be better from the economy's point of view, or it would be better for both the two commodities, both the two consumers, right? Now see, let's think that from F it moved to point Z. How much both the two consumers are consuming? See, at this point, let's say this point is X3 and this point is Y3. Okay, now see, Now by moving from this point to this point, now how much consumer A is consuming of commodity X? It is consuming OA X3 OA X3 amount of consumer, sorry, commodity X. And how much B is consuming? B is consuming X3 X amount of commodity X. That means this amount X1 and X3, okay, X1 and X3 amount that was previously consumed by consumer B is now exchanged to or transferred to consumer A. Okay, it is now transferred to consumer A, and in that place what we have seen here previously consumer A was consuming OA Y1 commodity of commodity B, or sorry, commodity Y. Now how much it is consuming? Now it is consuming OA Y3. Okay, therefore this much Y1 Y3 amount of commodity Y has been exchanged with consumer B, or A have transferred Y1 Y3 amount of commodity Y to consumer B, right? So what do they do? They did that. Consumer A give up some of the consumption or some of the quantity of commodity Y and give it to consumer B, and in return what consumer B did? Consumer B takes some of the commodity X that he was previously consuming and give it to consumer A, right? So there is a mutual exchange between two, right? A gave some amounts of Y, that is Y1 Y3 amount of commodity Y to consumer B, right? And in return what consumer B did? Consumer B gave A how much? X1 and X3 X1 and X3 amount of commodity X, right? And with this mutual exchange we now see that they have come to a more better position, they have come to a better position where the utility level of consumer A have increased, though utility of consumer B remained the same, right? At least for the society it is good. Clear? Now, and the points where both the two ICs or the indifference curves of both the two consumers are tangent, it means that the slope, okay, if we draw a slope here, a straight line here, I am unable to draw a perfectly straight line, but you draw a straight line here, okay. If we draw a straight line in the tangent, okay, that means the slope of both the two curves at this point are same, okay. The slope of both the two curves, that is the indifference curve of B, B2 and indifference curve of A, A5, the slope of both the two curves are same, exactly same. Therefore we can say the slope is nothing but it is representing the marginal rate of substitution, okay, the marginal rate of substitution of commodity X and Y. That is how much of commodity X has been given up to gain an additional unit of Y, right? So this marginal utility of X and Y for consumer A is equals to the marginal rate of substitution of X and Y for consumer B, okay. MRS XY of consumer A is equal to MRS XY of consumer B at the point of tangency, right? In all these points, okay. Here also if we draw a straight line, you see the slope of both the two curves are same. Here also if you draw a straight line, it means the slope of both the two curves are exactly same, and the slope is nothing but the MRS XY, okay, MRS XY of the particular consumer, right? Now if we join all these points, okay, uh, if we join all these points through a curve, I'm doing it freehand so it is not so good, you try it with scale, okay, that would be better. If we join all these points, okay, join all these points, then we get a new curve, okay. If we join all the points of tangency of the indifference curves, then we get a new curve, okay. Now we call this curve a contract curve, right? We call this curve a contract curve, a contract curve, right? Now therefore what have we learned? We learned that any point that is in this contract curve, Okay, any point that is in this contract curve, it is representing a point where the indifference curves of both the two consumers are tangent, right? Take any point of the indifference curve, say here also we are representing such a point where, say, another indifference curve of consumer A and the indifference curve of consumer B, a new one. Okay, see, there is not only 6 indifference curve, we are showing only 6 here, but there are in between this this box there could be numerable amounts of indifference curve for both the two consumers, right, representing various combinations. Clear? So let's suppose there is another one here, that is also both the two curves are tangent to each other, that is also represented by a point in the contract curve, right? So take any point in this curve that is representing a point where both the two uh, ICs or the indifference curves of both the two consumers are tangent to each other, that is MRS XY of A is equal to MRS XY of B. So in this way we can show that through mutual exchange between commodities, between the consumers of the commodities, results in better movement from an inferior point to a more far better point, and those points are being denoted by the contract curve, right? Those points are being denoted by contract curve.